Hello and welcome back to Lines and Squares Corporate Business Card Help video. In this video we'll see how to edit text and colors in Adobe Illustrator. So let me open up the Adobe Illustrator file. Let's go with this blue color. And now that we have our template open, of course you can see we have the front and the back of the business card. In the layers panel, you'll see 4 different layers group: print info and info box. These two are there for you, so you can see the limits, where are the cut lines, safety text areas, bleed, and everything else that you need about editing the business card. If you need to go into some more detailed edits, you want to change things around, etc. So you'll know where the boundaries are. Now these two you don't have to send to be printed with your design. You can just delete them after you finish working on it. And of course, let me just turn them off so we can just work on this. And of course we have the text and the design layer separate. Now let's start with editing this QR code. As you can see, if you have watched the introductory video, you've seen how to create these QR codes. So now I'm just gonna point back to the QR code that we have updated, go to place, and voila! It looks horrible, but that's the point, so you can see it. So the way to do it is select the QR code, go here on the top, go to relink, and simply select the new QR code if it's not automatically updated. Okay, so now that we have that set up, let's start with editing the colors. To edit the colors, you can either select the individual elements, of course, and then edit each and every one of these elements separately. And the way you do that is either choosing elements from a Swatches panel, or just select the element and through the fill you can just change the color. Let's say we want to make it pinkish or whatever. Okay, now this approach applies if you want to change certain elements, but you don't want to mess with the entire scheme, color scheme of this template. The easiest way and the fastest way to change the entire color scheme is to use global colors, or the colors that I've created in the Swatches panel. If you don't see the Swatches panel, you can find them in Window, and I'm going to go to Swatches. And here you can see 3 types basically of swatches. We have the regular swatches, we have this swatches with this white triangle and the dot in the middle. Those are the spot colors. They have been used just for your information. You can just delete them if you're not using the info and the print box anymore. And finally we have the global color swatches, which are the color swatches with this white triangle and nothing in it. Now the way it works is that this color is now connected throughout the entire template, so you don't have to select individual elements to change the color scheme. You just make sure nothing is selected, double click on the color, make sure the preview button is checked, and either play with the sliders here or just add your own values, and voila, we have our entire color scheme immediately changed. Now if you want your QR code to follow this, you can of course, instead of using this TIFF file, you can use the QR code that we have created in the introduction. Let me just open it up for a second. Okay, I've opened up that QR code. I'm just gonna go copy, paste, group it, size it down, and just place it here. approximately. I'm just gonna center it. Now I'm gonna delete that old one. And now I have my QR code set up. I can just apply the color that's been throughout this design. And now, let's say I want to make another change to the template. And I want to make this orange. And voila, I have all my changes immediately done. Okay? So that's it when it comes to editing the colors. Now, let's move on to the text. First, let's talk about editing the text properties. When it comes to editing the font properties, you will need to open the character panel. If you don't see the character panel, go to Window, Type, and then open the character. And here you can edit the properties of the font itself, like the font family, style, size, all those different things you can see here. Okay, so if you want to edit the properties of the font, you do it through character panel. Okay, when it comes to editing the font, it's quite simple. Either select the text and double click on it and then just type in your own text, or just select the T on your keyboard and it will automatically activate the type tool. Type in your own text and then you can play with it, make it bigger, smaller, maybe wider, etc. And of course you repeat this throughout the entire design. Okay, so that's it. In the next video we'll see how to edit the template in Adobe InDesign. Bye!